Hello and welcome back to another YouTube video. A little bit of a different one today. I wanted to give you guys some serious value and share with you some of the top secrets that I use to help my very busy online clients manage their health and fitness goals amongst their crazy lifestyles. So if you're new here, my name is Georgia. I'm a women's online health and fitness coach, and I work with women who are ready to step into their ultimate confidence across all areas of their life and just absolutely own their health and fitness goals. And if you are returning to this YouTube channel, thank you so much for joining me again for another video, and hopefully you guys are going to go away today with some insane points to literally put straight into action in order to skyrocket your results and confidence in 2025. This is something that I wanted to talk about because it's something that I hear time and time again from literally all of the women that I speak to, and it's something that pretty much every single one of my clients have in common. They are super busy. A lot of my clients are mums, business owners, they're very high up in the corporate world, they have very busy and high demanding jobs, they've got households to run and just a whole lot of stuff to be holding down in their day-to-day lives. But they know that they are destined for more, and they know that they are still capable of achieving their goals whilst working alongside all of that craziness, and that is why they come and work with me. As someone who is also a business owner myself, plus I also teach dance on the side, which includes a lot of extra cover work, so my hours are forever changing, have to be very flexible. If I can also run my business alongside that and managing my fitness goals, then I can definitely show you how you can do that too. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about is making busy your identity. I speak to so many women who are like, oh, I'm too busy, I can't. And their whole life is labeled and kind of like surrounded by the fact that they're busy, and they make it their entire identity. They make every single decision based on them being too busy. And if I'm completely honest, that is not going to get you anywhere. We need to first of all detach from that identity. We need to know that we can be someone who has a very fulfilling life, but also hits their goals. So it's about flipping the script and thinking about how can we look at this from a different perspective? How can we, instead of looking at this like I'm so busy, look at it from a perspective of, oh my goodness, my life is filled with so many amazing things. I get to be successful. I get to have a family. I get to be busy. How can we flip the script and look at this as a positive part of us rather than always just flipping it to the negative? Because to be quite honest, if you're sat in that mindset right now, you're probably not going to commit long term to making the changes that are actually going to get you the results, the confidence, the physique that you have always wanted. Once we've looked at this, you'll probably be becoming a whole lot more aware of how you talk about yourself. But the other thing that we also need to become aware of is the behaviors that keep us in this I have to be busy, I'm always busy mindset. Quite a lot of the time we spend time scrolling on our phones, procrastinating, literally sitting staring at the wall for no apparent reason, and all of a sudden half an hour or an hour's passed that you've wasted that you could have been utilizing to do something else. So I want you to start being really observant of the behaviors that you have from day to day and catching yourself out. Is it that when you get up in the morning, instead of getting out of bed, you sit and scroll on your phone for half an hour and then you wonder why you're always late? Or is it that once you drop the kids off at school, you end up chatting to the other mums in the playground for a good 45 minutes, and before you know it, that window that you blocked out for the gym session has gone? And yes, I'm not here to say there's anything wrong with sometimes scrolling on your phone, catching up with friends, but it's allowing these things to happen repeatedly over and over again that mean that you are constantly stuck in this cycle of chasing your tail rather than optimizing your time. Something that I always think is a really good idea is writing these things down. So as they come up, write them down. Something that I always used to do is scroll on my phone whilst I was eating or as soon as I get up in the morning, and I suddenly looked at my screen time and I was like, wow. And as much as these things seem small throughout the day, they do add up over time. They really do. And I urge you, if you are watching this right now, go and check your screen time and you are going to be shocked. So now that we've started acknowledging the identity that we have put ourselves in and the behaviors that are keeping us in that identity, What tactics can we use to actually start putting in those steps to get towards your goals, rather than just sitting in this state of procrastinating and labeling yourself as this person who is just constantly busy and can't possibly manage working towards their health and fitness goals alongside having that successful family life and career and all of those other things. The number one thing that I always do with my one-to-one clients is work them through my 1% framework. Now, the way this works is all about starting small, okay? A lot of people think, I don't want to start small because that's not going to get me results. Yes, it is. And the reason why it's going to get you results is because starting small and taking those small steps over time, that is going to compile into huge progress. And it's going to mean you actually sustain your efforts long term. So the way that my 1% framework works that I use with my one-to-one clients, first of all, look at where you are right now. What are you doing? What are you not doing? It's really important to acknowledge like where you currently are in your journey, because what we don't want to do is do a complete lifestyle 360 and not be able to sustain it. So for example, if you're doing 0 workouts, that is absolutely fine, but that's where you're at right now. How many steps are you doing? What is your diet like? What is your sleep hygiene like? What is your mental health like? Take a big audit of all of these things, okay? And really look at your life. Where are you at from a health and fitness point of view right this second? Now from here, what I want to do is focus on how can we make this 1% better, 1% more optimized, 1% closer to your goals. So predominantly I work with clients who are looking to lose weight and gain that unstoppable confidence. So what I do quite often with clients, we look at how many steps they're doing. First of all, how can we add 1,000 to 2,000 steps to that per day? This is small, it's achievable, but it's also going to get them instantly on track towards their goals. So what I want you to look at is how can you take 2 or 3 small 1% steps in this next week, in this next month, that are going to get you closer to your goals. The reason why I work with this 1% framework with my clients is because it's so achievable around their busy lifestyles. It means that they can still go about their usual busy lives, they can still run their businesses, they can still make sure everything is ticked off work-wise, family-wise, social-wise, it is all still there, but they're just making a very small tweak to their health and fitness in the background of all of that. So that way, they are able to show up every single day and tick those boxes, and you're going to be exactly the same. Plus, the great thing about the 1% framework is that over time, we can scale that up. So once you've nailed that first step, what's that next 1%, and so on and so forth. And all of a sudden, in X amount of months, you are going to notice your efforts because they are going to compile and your results are going to literally skyrocket without you even having to think too much about it. Now, one thing about me personally is I am the queen of organization, and this is something I really work on with my clients as well. So once you have your 1% next step, I want you to look at getting super organized around your week. If you are someone who does have a very busy life, things are not going to happen by chance. You're not just accidentally going to fall into the gym or accidentally trip out your front door and go for a walk or accidentally eat the right foods, okay? It happens by taking aligned action, and that aligned action is going to happen through you planning out your days and your week. Now, it's completely up to you with how you do this, and I very much am an advocate for finding what works personally best for you, but I want you to get super specific on when you're going to tick off the following things: your training, your steps, and also what your meals are going to be for that week. If you do have a very demanding work schedule, by penciling in that time to go to the gym on, 2 or 3 days per week, and penciling in a little pocket of time to do your steps each day, you can be really strict with your schedule and also set some super strong boundaries in your working life. And I can guarantee you, once you actually start prioritizing your mental and physical health, you are going to be able to pour so much into every other area of your life. And I see this happen literally time and time again with the ladies that I work with. As soon as they start filling up their cup, all the other cups around them can suddenly become full as well. So something that works very well for me personally is time blocking my day. So I literally block out hour by hour what work tasks I'm doing and when I'm doing my steps and when I'm doing my training. And I do that on a day-by-day basis. Then when it comes to food, I do this more on a weekly basis, but that is just my personal preference. And what I will do is plan out what I'm going to have for breakfast, lunches, and dinners, and my snacks pretty much for the entire week. Weekends, I tend to leave a little bit more flexible, but Monday through to Friday are pretty much regimented. This also saves me so much time because I can prepare any foods in advance, for example, lunches or breakfast, I can batch cook. And it also means that when I do the food shop, I know exactly what to buy because you can write your food plan, write your food shop literally straight from that, and then you do not need to buy any unnecessary stuff, so you're not wasting food or money. So it's a double win. Which brings me really nicely onto the topic of nutrition. And this is something that people really, really overcomplicate. And if you're a busy individual, the last thing you need is a complicated nutrition plan. It really is not what you need. So I want you to make your nutrition as simple as possible. I always say to clients, if it ain't broke, we don't need to fix it. So if you enjoy the breakfast that you're eating, if it gets you the things that your body needs, we can rinse and repeat that until you don't want to eat it anymore, and then we can change it. So for example, I literally eat the same breakfast pretty much every single day. The same as lunches, I'll have the same 5 lunches Monday through to Friday that I'll prep in bulk, and I tend to sort of change these up on a weekly basis. And the same with snacks, I'll change these up generally on a weekly basis, but I'll pretty much have the same thing every single day. And the reason why that works is because you don't have to think about food as much during the week, because it is all already thought and planned out for you. If you're someone who needs to eat a lot on the go, what can you get that's super easy to pick up, that's going to be high in protein, that's going to give you some micronutrients, some fruits, some veggies, and some goodness to have alongside that protein to keep you really full? But the more strategic and organized you can be around your nutrition, honestly, the better. And the second thing as well is even looking at things like meal prep companies, things like HelloFresh, Gusto. If you're someone who doesn't like cooking and doesn't like the organization of cooking, these are honestly such a game changer and well worth the investment, and something that I personally utilize for my dinners. We have HelloFresh and it makes my life so much easier. And again, it just takes the thinking out of the process. And if you've taken anything from this episode, a lot of this is being proactive, taking the thinking out of the process in the moment, because we're doing it ahead of time. One last thing I also want to cover in this video is actually taking time to re-energize. If you are someone who has a very, very tight schedule, it's very easy to put yourself to the bottom of that pile and not fill your own personal cup up. And like I mentioned earlier, once your cup is full, you can pour so much into other areas of your life, into your family, your friends, your work, your business, your personal growth, your health and fitness, whatever it is. When you have more to give personally, you will notice it across all aspects of your life. Now you're probably thinking, Georgia, I don't have time to go on a solo date every week. That is not what I'm trying to say here, okay? I literally want you to spend 5 minutes every single day for yourself. And if you look at your screen time, I can guarantee you can spare 5 minutes. Now, that 5 minutes is going to be doing something that literally just purely fills your cup up. It can be something like doing a face mask, having a bath, having a slightly longer shower, reading a book, listening to a podcast, sitting outside and having your morning cup of tea, instead of sitting inside, already scrolling on your phone, getting outside, getting some fresh air, doing your steps, FaceTiming a friend. There are so many things you can do. And if you can weave these small things into your life on a day-to-day basis, not only will you A, feel more energized, but you are B, going to have so much more to pour into the rest of your life. So all of a sudden, everything just feels so much more effortless. And that is the main thing that I want you to take from this video, is that you can manage all of these things. You can juggle the work life, the business, the family, the friends, the social life, the health and fitness journey. You can juggle all of those things. You don't need to label yourself as someone who has to be busy and has to be hustling and grinding all the time. You can have that calmness in your life and you can handle all these things. And hopefully what I've gone through in this video today has been helpful and given you some clarity on how you can take that next step towards becoming a calmer and more in control version of you who is crushing their health and fitness goals. And with that being said, if what I've spoken about today is something that you feel like you need help and guidance with, like I mentioned, this is exactly what I work with my one-to-one clients on. So if you want more information about how I work, I'm going to pop my application form for one-to-one coaching down below. Click the link and I will drop you a message so we can get a call booked in, have a super chill chat. We can find out a little bit more about you and your goals, and I can see if I'm the right coach to help you. So if you made it this far to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. And if you guys have any questions at all, I'll also put my Instagram down below so you can drop me a DM. Let me know that you've come from YouTube, because I really do appreciate you guys so much. And I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.